or whatever else.
This is Paul Catalina's Top 5 at 5:55.
Brought to you by Slap 6 Comedy Club. Look, the tickets available for tonight's shows. 2 shows, 7 and 9 o'clock. Tonight, 2 stand-up shows. Tomorrow night, improv at 7 o'clock with the So-and-Sos, of which I am a part of, and stand-up at 9 o'clock. So please, coming out to Slap 6 Comedy, get your tickets, slap6comedy.com. Top 5 things we learned about Baylor at Media Days. Number 5 is all the work they did on the mental and emotional aspects of football, of being part of a team, of building that team aspect, what Dave Aranda, he didn't get to do in year one.
You heard all the coaches talk about it. Right?
Yeah, a lot of times been spent on that, and it's almost like you can't ask Dave Aranda a question without it turning into that too. You know, like everything comes back to those relationships and that getting to know each other and all of that. And you know, we and others, I'm sure, have pointed that out as a reason why last year wasn't as great as it could have been. But there's, also a multitude of other reasons as well. And so I don't know how you can hear him now talking about the team and then hear what Terrell Bernard said, for example, and not feel like just based on relationships alone, they're going to be a better football team.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how that doesn't turn into them being more improved on the field, all this off the field work they've done.
Number 4, speaking of Terrell Bernard, he is ready to go.
Yeah,
his shoulder is fine. He went through a lot, and he had his doubts, but he went through a lot. He's ready to go. Looks good and strong, and he looks like he's got it all back. So that shoulder is ready. He is ready to go, and that's a key thing for this defense is that he's not going to have any lingering problems.
Yeah, and what he said about Siaka Apu. With what he did. He and both Connor Galvin, I may have been stealing.
Said he can move. No.
Okay. Well, really?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, let me think of what else you're going to put up here. All right?
Yeah.
Did you see what Dave Aranda said when I asked him? No, it was Matt Wells. And when he gets to somebody, it's like a can opener that grabs a can. That's what Terrell Bernard reminds me of when he's tackling somebody.
Yeah. Number 3, the offensive line is starting to build some continuity. I mean, they're starting to build it. Connor Galvin, admitted that they didn't have any before, that they're, kind of rotating through a different 7 and 8 guys last year, and that it wasn't really easy and it was tough, but that he feels that they've got some guys that can play multiple positions. And I know the proof's going to be in the pudding, but it's good to hear that because they did not at any point, nobody BS. I think Xavier Newman-Johnson for a little bit, he kind of was like, no, I'm fine, but it was clearly something was going on there. But anytime you asked offensive lineman what was going on, they're like, yeah, we know we're not playing well.
Yeah, he was honest about it. He was a little bit edgy, and that's fine, too. He should be. That's his position. He's proud of it. He's a left tackle senior. One of the things that we did hear from him, though, and we heard this and then again we didn't, is that on Thursday, they didn't know, what was it? There were players that weren't practicing and then came in on Friday to practice and play the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Aranda who said that or if it was Connor Galvin who said that, but that was crazy too. But that sure can't get continuity if you're not together.
Yeah. Number 2, the defensive backs are the strongest group right now, according to Dave Aranda. I mean, he feels really, really bullish about them. LSU is DBU. I think a year with guys like Raleigh Tejada, Kalen Barnes, JT Woods, Christian Morgan, with him is only going to make them that much better. And they were already good players. I think that you could see a couple guys move from good to great this year.
Yeah, I mean, Kalen Barnes needs to live up to the lofty expectations. I mean, he got a lot of hype because he was fast and a good athlete, and I think he, definitely missed out on making a couple of potential game-changing plays last year due to having a cast on his hands. So without that, and with guys like Morgan and Woods showing more ability to be disruptive with the football and make some actual plays, get some actual turnovers, which was, kind of rare a couple years. I mean, not a couple years, but it was sometimes rare. They started to kind of get a little bit of momentum in that regard. And, man, you started getting the teams getting some turnovers created, and, the whole thing just can flip.
Yeah, so, it can. It's a tremendous confidence boost when you get a pick. And then remember that it was a couple years, even till 18 when they couldn't pick off a pass.
Couldn't get a
in the
turnover.
Texas Tech game, they got a couple of them. The next thing you know, they got a few more, and then became a turnover machine in 19.
Yeah, it adds up. So, I mean, Woods, Morgan, Barnes, Tejada. I don't know how you can't be excited about this group, but they're all, that's the other thing is like this is an older group now. Like these are all basically seniors at this point, 5th-year seniors, 4th-year seniors, what have you. So big season in store, but hopefully they live up to it.
Yeah, at worst, you're a 3rd-year sophomore in that group if you miss any time. Number 1, what all the quarterbacks need to work on specifically. Blake Shapen needs to learn the offense. Gary Bohannon has to get better at passing. Jacob Zeno has to, all the different things that they were specific about. Here's what everybody brings to the table and what they need to work on. That's kind of a different perspective that you hear. And I don't think Dave Aranda has the capacity to coach speak his way of, well, they're just going to go play Baylor Bear football kind of a thing. Like they're going to do what they do. I don't think that's how his
almost
mind
honest
works.
to not a fault.
But I mean, he's just going to tell you this is what they need to work on.
You can't combine all 3 of them like a thing of gumbo and it's a great meal. They're all different in many ways.
I don't know that this was Dave Aranda's intention, and I certainly am just guessing here, but coaches also definitely say things in the media that they know their players are going to read and react to, and so therefore they say those things intentionally to make sure it gets in a roundabout way to said players. So if you're the quarterbacks and you're looking at updates on Big 12 Media Days and you saw what he said about what people need to work on, well, it probably sends a message to you. Now, I'm not saying that was his intention, but that's definitely what coaches do from time to time. So,
and if the players don't see it, their parents do.
Yeah, and
or
so
friends do.
I look at it as, whether or not he meant to do it, he didn't do it in a negative way in any shape or form, and he had plenty of positive things to say. But, I mean, you know what to work on if you're any of these guys. The only one he didn't mention was Drones, who you just assume is redshirting. But, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to figure out what coach is looking for after hearing him yesterday.
Had a fun time. Probably the best 2 days at a Big 12 Media Days that I can remember as far as access and
best one
the
I've been
setup.
to. Yeah.
Jack and Hayden. It was great what you guys did. Obviously, Colton Grace